Hey friends, I thought I would share a little throwback video with you today from a sermon that I preached 8 years ago entitled, It's Not Over Till God Says It's Over. The video quality is not great, but I think God will be able to speak to you. So I'm going to share a few clips, and if you want to see the whole video, I'll put the link in there so you can watch the whole sermon. But I hope this speaks to you.
And see, it's one thing to ask God for something, but it's altogether different when you have come to the place of your life where you have become urgent, where you have reached the place of desperation, and when you realize, if God doesn't do something now, something's going to die in my life. There's a place of urgency. Has anybody ever come to that place of urgency in your life? Have you ever come to the place where you were so desperate for God to move that you knew something had to change? See, if you have, then those are the people that God has sent to you this morning to speak to. Those people that are on the verge of urgency. Those people that are there with desperation, crying out to God, saying, God, if you don't show up right now in my life, if you don't fix something, if you don't change something, something is going to die in my life. See, that brings us to our main point this morning, and this is what God just wants us to get so powerfully in our spirit, and it's this. It's not over until God says it's over. It's not over. Well, you think it's over because you think it's over. It's not over until God says it's over. It's not over because your grandma said it was over, because your spouse said it was over, because your employer said it was over. I don't care who said it's over. It's not over until God says it's over. What are you going through in your life right now that looks like you've reached the end? What is that situation that you are convinced of that can never change? Oh, I just want to encourage you this morning. It's not over until God says it's over. No fear, no doubt, no anxiety, no worry. No, only believe. Believe. I don't know how. I don't understand it, but I'm going to only believe. See, what I want you to notice this morning is the contrast between the voice of the ones that brought the bad news and the voice of Jesus. One was a voice of death. One was a voice of life. One was a voice saying, you need to go ahead and give up, while one was saying, don't you give up. One was a voice of uncertainty, while one was a voice of certainty. There are these two contrasting voices going into the head of Jairus, and he had a decision of what he was going to do. And what Jesus was declaring was, I don't care what they're saying, forget what they say, and choose to listen to what I say. And I need to tell you that any time in your life that you reach an ending, you will experience those two voices. One will come to you and convince you it is over. You might as well pack up and go home. It is done. Yet there will be this other voice that stems somewhere deep down in your soul. You can't explain it. You don't understand it. You don't even know that it makes sense. But it's saying, no, don't you give up. Don't you quit. Don't you listen to that voice. I know it looks bad. I know it looks to everybody else like it's over. But don't you give up. See, there are these two voices, and you must decide which voice you are going to listen to. You must decide which of the voices you allow to gain victory in your mind, because the hurdle is believing the one that says there is no more hope. It will trip you up and you will never make it to your breakthrough. You've got to decide. When someone brings you bad news and they want to join in on your pity party, you've got to decide how you're going to respond. Oh, it's over. I know. Look, this is so bad in your life. Oh, I'm going to boo-hoo with you. You just got to say, no, what are you looking at me for? Look, we haven't even gotten up to bad yet. This thing's not over. What are you crying for? You got to go. You've got to make up your mind what you're going to respond. I want to tell you something. There are some of you that need to look at some people that want to get in on a pity party with you, and you need to say something like this. Look, I know it may look like it's over to you, and I know that if you were in my shoes, you'd probably crumble and crash and give up, but I'm telling you this morning that as long as Jesus is still standing by my side, I've still got a chance. Hallelujah! But there came this time where Jesus realized, some of the people that have been following me don't need to go any farther. They got to stop right here. Jesus looks at the crowd and said, you guys stay here, but we're going to keep on going. And I don't have time to preach on this, but I will just say real quickly that whenever you get ready to go past your ending and get to the place of your breakthrough, some of you have got to get selective with who you let to follow you from this point on. Some of the people that have been with you and hanging on for the ride, it is time to say, listen, I know it looks over and you can't handle what's going on in my life. So here's the line. You stay there while I'm going with Jesus over here. Some of you have got to get selective about who you let stay close to you as you get to your breakthrough. Not everybody can say it's good. Not everybody can handle your ride. God's about to do something in your life. life that's about to blow their mind. I don't need their mind blown on my situation. You let it explode over there. I'm going with Jesus over here. Hallelujah. There are some people in your life, some things in your life that some of you need to get out of your life. All the naysayers, gotta go. All the doubters, gotta go. All the gossips, see ya, gotta go. All the haters, gotta go. You don't belong in my house. You don't belong in my sphere. I'm about to go to a realm that you can't handle. So listen, believe what you want to believe and mourn like you want to mourn, but you got to go. Some of you got some people that you need to boot out of your life right now. Some of you got some thoughts you need to get out of your mind right now. Some of you need to turn the TV off and quit reading the newspapers because the things they're reporting aren't believing what God says anyway. Why are you filling your mind with that garbage? I don't need that stuff in my life. Get rid of the stuff. And the only thing I want to stay in my life is what Jesus said, what God says, what His Word says, what faith tells me to believe. That's what I'm going to believe. That's what I'll let in my house. Everything else got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. And so Jesus kicks them all outside. Here's a secret to experiencing breakthrough in our life. You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. I want to say that again because somebody didn't get that. Listen to this. You have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. You said, what are you talking about? I said, you've got to see in your mind. You've got to see in your spirit. You've got to see through the eyes of faith what you're believing for. Or before you see it in your hand and you can touch it and feel it, before it becomes a reality, you've got to see it in the spirit before you see it in the natural, or you may never see that breakthrough in your life. Because some of you are missing your breakthrough because you got so focused on the thing you're touching and you want to feel it and it hasn't happened yet. So you've given up hope and said, it's over, I've reached an end and I'm never going to go any farther. And God is saying to you this morning, if you can see it before you see it, then I will let you see it in your life and I will bring you breakthrough. You've got to see yourself healthy while you're sick. You've got to see yourself blessed while you're broke. You've got to see yourself married while you're still single. You've got to see it. You've got to see yourself living even in the midst of the death of the situation you're in. You've got to see it. And I want to tell you this morning, if you will listen to the voice of God and obey Him, if you will trust in Him and trust in His sovereignty and not give up hope, you will reach the place of breakthrough in your life.